Hey everybody, now today I want to talk to you about the 6 ways to make money on the internet. Now for some of you who were involved in our pre-launch, you might have seen this video before, but we wanted to make sure to include it in the content because it contains some really important core concepts in making money online. In this video and many more, you're going to see Miss Jamie Shelton. She's a local aspiring pop singer, and I thought she would be the perfect person to try to explain all the ways to make money on the internet. Pretty much because she has zero technical experience. She's never really used Twitter before and never used Facebook before. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, Jamie, today we're going to talk about all the different ways you can make money from your website.
Okay.
So how many ways do you know about so far?
None.
Okay. Well, we did talk about affiliate marketing, but we didn't really talk about it on how you can make money from it on your website.
Yes.
But there's also many, many other ways to do it. So we're going to kind of start with, I'm going to kind of do a little, it almost looks brown even though it says black, but whatever. Okay, so here's our site, and whatever. Okay, so here's our website right here. And we'll call this Jamie's Jewelry Extravaganza website. Okay, that's it. Basic gist of it, okay? There's several ways to make money on the internet. The first and easiest way is donations. Okay, now that's basically where you're just soliciting people to give you money. Now you're probably like, why would people give me money?
Yeah.
But when you're giving people value, and this is a key thing, like if you start a website, Jamie's Jewelry Stuff, and every day you're talking about jewelry, and you're like, okay, today we're going to look at this kind of jewelry. I'm going to give you the positives of it, the negatives of it, where you should buy it, where you can read more about it. That's a huge value to your readers. Mm-hmm. And as you start to build an audience and a readership, well, then people just want to be a part of what you're doing, and they want to help you out. So what we're not doing when we do donations is we're not going like, hey, send me $20. Instead, what we do is we say things like, well, there's things like Amazon, some stupid tape on my foot. So there's things like Amazon.com has wish lists, right?
Okay.
Right, have you ever seen?
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret
has a wish list, too.
Okay. Pampered Chef has wish lists. My wife always sends me things she wants wherever they're at, you know? So all these places have wish lists and stuff like that. So what you can do on your site is like put a little box containing like I might want a bunch of programming books, mm-hmm. but I don't want them that bad that I would buy them for myself. Mm-hmm. So what I can do is just make a wish list on Amazon for those, and then put those on my site, and when people come there and it's like, hey, you like what I say? Do you like what I contribute? Feel free to buy me a book or whatever. And people will do it. You will be absolutely stunned at how many people will do it.
Really?
Another way you can do donations is by, and keeping on the Amazon before I jump ship on that, so the Amazon wish list, put things like, don't be afraid to put high dollar things. Like there's been some things that people have given me that have been of such high quality, and I mean, you could have somebody roll up on your site who's like CEO of a $1 billion company, and whatever you just said totally revolutionized his thought process in your business. Doesn't really matter what it is. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you just gave him an idea to buy his wife something for Christmas, and he's like, I'm hooking her up. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to list high dollar items as well. Recently there was a kid who wrote a WordPress plugin, and he was giving it away for free. And when I went on his site, he had an Amazon wish list, and he had everything from like $1 to like a $190 book. And I bought him the 2 most expensive books he had on there just because I really wanted to show him my appreciation, because his WordPress plugin saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. So don't ever undervalue your advice or yourself. And if you make an Amazon wish list or something like that, you want to just put everything that you really want on there. Mm-hmm. Okay? So pretty easy. Okay. Or Victoria's Secrets. That would actually be interesting if they have a Victoria's Secret's wish list. Mm-hmm. So you can actually make that and be like, buy me some from Victoria's Secrets.
Yeah.
I have a feeling females would do pretty well with that. More
so than Amazon.
More so, I have a feeling that guys would be way more inclined to buy girls lingerie or something like that. Not me, of course, because I'm married. But then girls would come to my site and buy me a book on programming or...
I agree. That's a great tactic.
It is. Okay, major tip for those of you out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's donations. There's other ways to do donations too. A lot of people do, like you can do buy me a cup of coffee. You know, like, did you like this? I mean, that's a very small micro amount of payment. There's a gentleman named David Taylor who writes a daily, and all he does is a daily Q&A. And you could do that too with your jewelry site. You could be like, Ask Jamie Wednesday, where people could actually write in, you know, questions and saying like, I know you're an expert in the Swarovski crystal area. Did I say it right? So they could say like, tell me what's the difference between that and this. And then you could make a public post about it. And it's like, was this post helpful to you? Buy me a cup of coffee, you know, which is basically all they're doing is sending you like $5 PayPal. But when 20 people do that, that's $100. When, you know, 200 people do it, it's $1,000. So it's just all relative. So several ways to do donations and not be a scumbag about it.
And not be a scumbag.
Well, I mean, you don't just want to solicit your people like, hey, anyone want to give me money? Here's a cup. You know, here's a cup, everybody. Drop some money in my cup. That's kind of what I call being a scumbag. Like, you don't want to be the guy at the party who everyone is like, hey, watch out for so-and-so. He's going to ask you to dinner and sell you insurance, right? Because you've collected this audience that come to your site every day. And the last thing you want to do is be the scumbag who's like driving them away. So do it in a nice way. Like, have an Amazon wish list on the site or something. You know, have like buy me a cup of coffee, but don't go overboard with donations or like, hey, please send me some money, you know, and you'll be surprised at the results.
Okay.
So that's number one.
So, and would that be like, or, I don't know, like you send out newsletters, things like that, where you're kind of providing a service at the same time?
We can get into that. That's actually going to be a great segue into our next thing, which is actually subscription revenue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that'll be number 2. Is subscription revenue. Now, subscription revenue, I created a website that had thousands of users every day using it. And one day I thought, I have all these forums of people using things, and I thought, I wonder if anyone, and I was having some money issues. So I thought, I wonder if people would pay to be like a premium member and have access to special parts of the forums, and they could also get like a little cool avatar. And that was all they got. Well, in 2006, there was over 70,000 paying members. So from 2005, when I first came up with the subscription idea, and then to 2007, all people got for $19.95 every 6 months was a special avatar and access to forums, and over 70,000 people signed up for it. So that's basically $40 a year. It's over $2 million a year, and I was not doing any. That's just like was kind of free money. And the reason people will do a subscription like that is because, again, they come to you. They just want to be a part of what you're doing, and there's an extra value there. You know, to be like, because it kind of like those people got extra, and it was in the whole forum community would encourage other users to sign up. They would be like, hey, you know, I want to answer your question. Why don't you become a premium member to the site and I'll help you? And these people were just regular people, just like me and you. It's just amazing when you offer, now that's just one part of it. You can offer many other things with subscription revenue. Like maybe on your site you do a special video post like once a week that, you know, only members of the Jamie Jewelry Club can receive. So you can charge like $10 a month to be a part of that or something like that. And it's all really, really simple to set up through PayPal.
Really?
So,
Okay.
So subscription revenue is my favorite. It's really like, it can be like an annuity if it's set up properly, because it just goes on forever. I mean, I still have websites that we're still receiving subscription revenue for that have been around since 2002, 2003. So it's fascinating. You can also do it with like an email newsletter, like what you were talking about, where you have to pay in monthly to be a part of that. And all of these things we're actually going to cover. I'm just kind of covering the big whole picture of all the different ways to make money online.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3. Is contextual. I've heard of Google AdSense. Okay. There's other products out there as well, like from Yahoo and from Microsoft, that do the same thing. And basically what contextual revenue is, or contextual ads are those ads that blend in with the content. So you'll see like, you know, like a newspaper listing like this, and then you'll see an ad like this, but it looks like it's part of the content. Okay? And how that ad figures out what it should, so like let's say this article is on cars. Okay? So then all this talk is about cars. Well, what Google does is they go and they examine this text, and then they place really targeted text ads around what they determine the site's about, so that it gives the best return for their advertisers.
Okay.
So that's contextual in a nutshell. Now, contextual revenue is where I started, and I'm pretty much known for having this big fat AdSense check, and that's from contextual revenue. Now, there's good things with contextual revenue, and there's bad things with it. And I'm just going to quickly go over those. The good thing about it is, just with my story, I got a call from Google one day just saying, hey, you have this mobile site. We want to give you a premium revenue share. We think you'll do well with it. So literally took me a couple hours to implement it. And within a couple of months, I was making over $100,000 a year. Now, that's not common. Okay, like average person. I think my first day I only did a couple dollars a day, so I just slowly implemented it. But, so the contextual revenue was really, really a huge part of that. Now, the good things about it, like I said, it's really, really easy to implement. I mean, I implemented it in less than an hour, okay? The percentage that Google takes for finding these advertisers for you is amazingly low. Like before, to monetize this website, I would have had to like call up Sprint and try to negotiate that deal, or go through an agency who would have taken 50% or something like that. And obviously that's just not doable. So that's kind of why Google did so well with it, is because they just have this self-serve platform where if a company wants to spend $5 or $5 million a day, they can. So really the percentage they take is very, very small. Another thing that it does for you is like basically it has, instant gratification. So you can implement contextual revenue and then right away you can see how much you've made. So like you could implement it right now and in 20 minutes you could see if you've made any money. So depending on how much traffic your website gets. So they pay out usually, I think it's like net 45, which means they pay out 45 days after the end of the month. So if the month ends on October, then you would get paid probably by December 15th, but usually within 30 days. So contextual revenue, number 3, how I started, and a good way to make money online. It's actually where I recommend everyone start. Okay, so now we'll talk about the bad things of contextual like that. We're going to talk about the bad things of contextual revenue. We already covered the positive things. All right, so the bad parts of contextual revenue is you have hardly any editorial control over the content that Google wants to place on your website. So for instance, you've got this great site talking about jewelry. You're an expert on jewelry, blah, blah, blah. But when people come to your site, you're showing ads for all your competitors. Okay? So you're getting a couple pennies when they click. Maybe you're getting a quarter, 50 cents. But then you're driving people to their website where they could be monetizing with donations, subscriptions, every other way, and some of the other ways we're going to talk about. Okay? So that's a big negative to contextual revenue. I'll give you a better example. My wife you've met my dog Baxter. Okay? He's a very,
He's cute.
Thank you. Takes after me. So he's a very rare breed of dog. And the people who are into Kerry Blue Terriers, which is what he is, they're really, really into their dogs. I mean, they are so into the breed, and they're really into keeping the breed pure and not, I mean, like when we had to go through this massive process just to get him to start. So there's people who have websites dedicated to Kerry Blue Terriers. And the number one way they monetize them every time I see it is through contextual revenue. Now, most of these people are located in very rural areas, like middle of Iowa, stuff like that. And so the ads they see on their site could be for like dog collars or leashes or stuff like that. Now, but because they target for people in New York who come to her site, they see ads for like puppies for sale and stuff like that, which is exactly what she does not want. So it really drives away her readership because they're like, you're making money off of people selling puppies. And you have no editorial control over that. You've given that control to Google, to police. And they really don't police too much. I mean, in those areas, I mean, who are they to say? I mean, that's more of a ethical, moral thing, not really a good or bad thing. So the lack of editorial control can kind of drive you crazy. And I'm going to cover the editorial control more when we get into these other things. Another bad reason is there's a kind of a one-click and gone effect. So when people come to your website and you have a contextual revenue ad, like AdSense or whatever, you get one click and that user is now, in a black hole wherever you sent them. They're gone. You've worked so hard to get them to your website. They heard from their friend, hey, go to Jamie's Jewelry Tips and you got to read this article. Well, as soon as they get there, you got this big fat ad and they're like, oh, this has got my attention. And they click and now they're off somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you've lost that user forever. Thing, which we talked about already, is affiliate marketing. Good thing. Okay. Now, when I started in contextual revenue, making several thousands a day, I think our record for Google AdSense was like $6,000 a day or something like that, maybe 7, 8. I thought we were absolutely crushing it. We were making so much money, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong. They haven't realized how much they're paying me. They're going to bust down my door and reclaim everything I ever made. When it continued to go on for like 2 or 3 months, I was like, I need to look into this and find out how are these people able to give me so much money per click for my users. How can that happen? So I followed the money, because the ads, that blended in with my content, contextual revenue, were for ringtone offers, like ringtone, get your ringtones, send ringtones to your phone, blah, 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 blah. And my whole site was about ringtones and stuff like that. Well, all of those ads went to affiliate marketing stuff, where they were getting, instead of me getting paid, $1 per click, $1. That's $1, just trust me. So instead of me getting $1 per click, they're sending it to an affiliate offer where they were getting in between $12 and $20 per user who signed up. So now, and usually the average, what's called the EPC, or earnings per click. Mm-hmm. So my earnings per click here were $1, and I thought I was really banking. Mm-hmm. But these guys, their earnings per click were $2 to probably $3. So they're doubling what I'm making off of me. Mm-hmm. Never mind what Google's making too. So they could probably even be making up to $3.50 when I was only making $1. So once I replaced my contextual with my affiliate marketing stuff, which was like the mobile offers and stuff like that. And for more about affiliate marketing, it's a little bit more in depth than what I can cover here, and we already do a video on it. So please make sure you watch the affiliate marketing video, because we go pretty in depth about it. So instead, then I took these offers and replaced them on here, and we increased our income by threefold. So instead of doing $140,000, then we were doing like almost $500,000, or in some cases quite a bit more, just by doing affiliate marketing. So the next thing, 5, there's actually 6 ways to make money. I don't know how I forgot that. So the 5th thing is direct ad sales. This is pretty straightforward. This is just where you've got Jamie's Jewelry Box. It's also, it's probably one of the most lucrative ways to make money on your website, but it's also the hardest. It's very hard to get direct ad sales until you have an enormous amount of traffic and readership and audience. So what happens is, much like you see on shoemoney.com, I didn't take ads on the site because I was making money through other ways, and I was like, I don't want to take ads, because I didn't want to put Google AdSense on there. I worked too hard to get people there, so I didn't want them to disappear. So what I did was, instead, companies came to me direct and said, every major player in the space, and said, we'll pay you how much to have this spot over here, how much to have this spot over here. So then we just sold them direct advertising directly. Okay, very simple. And mostly in this case, they buy it for the brand exposure and not necessarily for the clicks, because they just want to be seen on the most authoritative sites. So the more you grow your website, the more you're going to have jewelry companies come to you and say, hey, we'll pay you to advertise in your RSS feed or in your newsletter and this and this, and that's a direct ad sales. And once you get to that point, you're going to probably want to hire somebody direct to do that.
Okay, so that's when you get on a bigger scale, like you said, when you have a lot of traffic,
right.
and people want to be seen on here.
Then the last way is actually where you're actually selling a product.
Which that's the only way that I ever thought.
Right.
You know, I didn't know that there was all of this other stuff.
So Jamie's
too.
got her jewelry line that she wants to sell. So you can sell that. So you start with your website, and then you can sell your product on it. You can have a Victoria's Secret's wish list. You can, what was this one?
Subscriptions.
Subscriptions.
Subscribe to my newsletter.
You can sign up for subscriptions to the Secret Jamie Club, where you get special promotions and special coupons and all this stuff for like $10 a month, or, you know, however you deem it's worth. You can also then do contextual revenue. You can do affiliate marketing, because there's probably other jewelry stores out there. I know ice.com has an affiliate program. You can do direct ad sales, selling direct ads to your competitors, or you can actually sell your own products. Very simple. In my case with my mobile site, I was doing all of these. I was doing donations in the form of, you know, like, hey, buy me a beer kind of thing. I was doing subscriptions in the special forums. I was started with contextual advertising and actually still kept it going, but I actually put the contextual advertising in the bottom of the page, or like on a place where there's 0 search results, because that's the point to where people are going to leave your website anyway. And the way contextual stuff works is it's one click and they're gone. So why not give them relevant ads of places for them to go? So that way you get paid on their way out.
Yeah.
Okay, if they're going to leave, they might as well leave and you get paid. All right? Then we have affiliate marketing. So I did affiliate ringtone deals on my website. I did direct ad sales. I had deals with Sprint, Verizon, all kinds of things set up. And then I also sold products because I had all this traffic for the mobile industry. You know, then I started selling like phone cords and phone cases, and, you know, you name it, I sold it. Now, again, when we were talking about contextual revenue, the bigger you get, the more this does not become a part of the equation, because people come to your website, they click on a contextual revenue ad, you've lost any possibility of selling them a product. Direct ad sales is out the window, affiliate marketing is out the window, they're not going to sign up for a subscription, and you're not going to get a donation. So contextual, Google AdSense, stuff like that, excellent place to start, horrible place to stop. So start off with contextual with revenue, like Google AdSense, products like that, but once you get going, back it off.
Okay, so this is like beginner level, and then direct ad sales is like more advanced.
Yeah, really, I would say beginner level is, you know, make your Victoria's Secret's wish list. Now, this is kind of, best case scenario for this would be like Jamie's, you know, blog. This is a place where you're writing content. This is not, obviously, if your primary goal is to sell a product, then you wouldn't want contextual revenue or affiliate marketing or probably any of these other things. But you can do all of them if you're really careful about it, because you're selling your own product. And then on your blog, then you could have, you know, some contextual stuff if you wanted to, donation stuff, because that's more personal and more about you.
What do you think would be the best for me?
For you to start with? Well, on the blog side of your store, I would probably do like a wish list. I mean, if you wanted to do a wish list with Victoria's Secret, I think you would probably get everything you wanted, but I think that would kind of be short-lived. So I would probably do a subscription-based thing to start with. I think the rest of these I would kind of shy away from. But for most people out there, they can do all of the above. Just start off slow and kind of just test the waters. And also you want to make sure, what is this doing to my website? There's a lot of products out there that'll actually show you, like, they're called like Clicktail, Crazy Egg, and just Google Analytics, which we'll dive into a lot more in the Shoe Money system, which will actually show you user behavior. So if I implement a Victoria's Secret's wish list, it'll say, okay, when people come, you can actually record people's movements and watch them and watch their mouse, where it's like, oh shoot, here's a Victoria's wish list, click, click, I'm out. And, or do they click on contextual revenue or whatever. So statistics can play a really vital role in what you end up making money from.
Okay, got it. Well, I'm excited to kind of dig into it a little bit further and learn a little bit more about
I know
each
the
one
big
of these
picture.
things.
The big picture seems quite intimidating right now, but the more we build out your website and the more we do stuff like that, it's all going to come into play.
Yeah, it all makes sense. Sounds good. Thanks for sharing it with me.
No problem.